How could you invade a Class 15 Deathworld? The commanders finally realized. They said it would be easy. The council had conquered dozens of worlds, some lush, some barren, none truly dangerous. Then they looked at the human homeworld and thought it would be the same. They were wrong. 1. The decision. The Galactic Concord had grown arrogant. They'd subjugated systems with fleets that blotted out suns. They'd faced empires and crushed rebellions without losing a ship. So when the exploration scouts reported a world teeming with intelligent life, the Concord commanders gathered in the citadel and asked a single question. Can we take it? The analysts replied, easily. Their technology is primitive. Their atmosphere unstable. Their species emotionally erratic. And just like that, the invasion of Terra 3, classified as a Class 15 Deathworld, was approved. 2. The landing. General Zirith was the first to set foot on the surface. He expected chaos. Instead, he found beauty, blue skies, endless forests, and a silence that felt wrong. The first dropships landed without resistance. No orbital strikes. No coordinated counterattack. Just an eerie calm. Where are the soldiers? Asked one commander. They're probably hiding, said another. Weak species tend to flee before the strong. But as the hours passed, the weak didn't flee. They watched. 3. The observers. Drones captured footage of humans standing far beyond the lines, farmers, miners, civilians, all silent. Their eyes weren't wide with fear. They were cold. Calculating. The commanders didn't understand what they were seeing. The humans weren't retreating. They were measuring. 4. The storm. On the third day, the atmosphere changed. Literally. The sky darkened, winds howled, lightning tore open the horizon. This planet's weather patterns are unstable, said a technician. No, replied General Zirith, watching the readings. They're alive. Storms raged without warning, swallowing entire platoons. Torrents ripped through valleys where armored divisions had camped hours earlier. The humans didn't fire a shot. The planet itself fought back. And still, the humans only watched. 5. The first counterattack. By the 5th day, morale was collapsing. Supply lines crumbled, communication satellites failed, and the ground itself seemed to reject them. Magnetic interference, tectonic tremors, constant radiation bursts. Then the first attack came. A human ambush, small, efficient, surgical. 12 soldiers in ragged armor struck a convoy of 1,000. They used no energy weapons, no plasma rifles, just steel, explosives, and tactics that didn't make sense. When reinforcements arrived, the convoy was gone. So were the humans. All that remained were their insignias, painted in blood on the ruined vehicles. Don't touch our home. 6. The commanders' meeting. General Zirith called an emergency session aboard the flagship Resolute Dawn. They don't fight like anything in the archives, he growled. Then adapt, hissed Commander Thren. They are primitive. Burn their forests. Flood their cities. Starve them. Already tried, said Zirith. Nothing burns here. The rain never stops long enough. Their cities underground, shielded by terrain. And when we approach, the ground itself swallows our tanks. Another commander, pale and trembling, whispered, "This isn't a planet. It's a death trap." Then explain, Thren snapped, why the humans thrive here. Zirith looked at the feeds. Men and women moved through the storm with ease. They carried supplies, tended to wounded, even smiled. Because, he said softly, they belong here. 7. The realization. By the second week, casualties surpassed any previous campaign in Concord history. Entire legions vanished in jungles that weren't supposed to exist. The ocean currents shifted without pattern. The sun's radiation flared in pulses timed exactly to their orbital passes. It was as if the planet itself wanted them dead. The scientists called it chaos. The soldiers called it hell. But the humans, they called it home. 8. The night of the howl. The turning point came on the 17th day. One battalion, stationed near a mountain range, picked up strange signals, low-frequency vibrations echoing through the stone. Then came the sound. A howl. It wasn't mechanical. It wasn't animal. It was ancient. Every living creature within 200 kilometers stopped. And when the sound faded, the humans came. Thousands of them. Hunters, soldiers, civilians moving as one. They struck under the cover of lightning and fire, moving faster than the commanders could react. When the storm cleared, the mountain was gone. So was the battalion. 9. The broadcast. On the 21st day, the humans sent a message. It was short. Simple. We didn't start this war. But we'll finish it. You call our world a death world. We call it Earth. The broadcast spread across the fleet. Even the commanders fell silent. 10. The collapse. Retreat orders came too late. Their ships couldn't lift through the violent magnetic storms. Ground units were isolated, cut off, surrounded. Some tried surrendering. The humans accepted them, fed them, healed them, and then sent them back with a message. Tell your leaders, never again. Others weren't so lucky. Entire divisions were found days later, unrecognizable. Nature had reclaimed them. The death world showed no mercy. 11. The debrief. Weeks later, in the Council's war chamber, the surviving commanders stood before their leaders. They looked hollow, broken. One of them finally spoke. We thought we were the apex civilization. We thought a death world was just a label. He looked up, eyes haunted. We were wrong. Those humans, they adapted to a planet that kills everything. You can't invade a world that made monsters into people. Silence filled the chamber. Finally, the council speaker whispered, "Then what are they?" General Ziritha's answer chilled them all. They're what happens when nature stops holding back. 12. Epilogue. Decades later, no fleet dared approach the Sol system. Even pirates avoided the route. Navigation charts marked it in red. Class 15 Deathworld, do not engage. But sometimes, ships passing near the boundary swore they picked up faint transmissions. Human voices, calm and clear. Still watching. Still ready. And deep in the shadows of the galaxy, the Concord commanders remembered the question that started it all. How could you invade a Class 15 Deathworld? Now they knew the answer. You don't. You survive long enough to regret trying.